speaker, Mr. Ntongwe Enongene. Mr. Ntongwe Enongene is a global business leader. He's a strategist and the mentor whose career journey embodies excellence across continents and industries. With an MBA in marketing and communication from the FUNIC Business School in partnership with Rome Business School, he has carved an extraordinary path that blends academic brilliance with hands-on corporate leadership. We are greatly looking forward to his insights and experiences tonight. It is also my absolute pleasure to introduce the moderator of today's session, someone who needs little introduction in the room. Dr. Fotabe Elmin is the founder of FUNIC Business School. It is an institution actually that has become a bridge between academic learning and practical industry experience in Cameroon and beyond. Through her visionary leadership, FUNIC has grown into a hub of innovation, entrepreneurship, and global exposure, equipping hundreds of young Africans with the skills to thrive in today's competitive marketplace. Beyond her role as founder, Dr. Fotabe is a lecturer and corporate trainer, delivering programs that empower professionals and executives in areas such as leadership, business strategy, and organizational development. Her dynamic teaching style and practical approach have earned her recognition as a trusted advisor to both public and private institutions. She is also a seasoned international speaker, having addressed diverse audiences across Africa, Europe, and Asia. Her voice resonates particularly on themes of education, women's empowerment, leadership, and entrepreneurship. Dr. Fotabe has also moderated high-profile panels and discussions, bringing together thought leaders, policymakers, and industry experts to shape conversations on Africa's future in business and development. Passionate about creating impact, Dr. Fotabe continues to inspire a new generation of leaders through education, mentorship, and global engagement. This is positioning FUNIC Business School as a model of African-centered excellence in higher education. Many of us here, panelists and participants alike, have been taught by her, guided by her, or be inspired by her vision. Her commitment to excellence in education and career development has transformed countless lives, and today she continues that mission by leading this very important conversation. Please join me and let's welcome our moderator, Dr. Fotabe Elmin. Of course, dear participants, a heartfelt thank you also goes to our seasoned panelists and professionals and thought leaders who have walked the journey, and they are here to share their perspectives with us. So in no particular order, our panelists are Mr. Nogelovis. He is a seasoned leader in the world of digital transformation. Mr. Nogelovis has been at the forefront of digital innovation, helping organizations navigate change and implement impactful solutions that drive growth and efficiency. He is currently a senior IT project manager at Orange Cameroon and brings with him over 20 years of experience leading complex technology projects across Africa and, of course, the Middle East. It is also my distinct pleasure to introduce a truly accomplished professional, Mr. Romeo Kitio. He is an astronomic engineer and an MBA holder with over 17 years of high-level leadership experience in the agro-industrial sector. He has held strategic roles at major international firms such as Olam and Hevecam, and today he brings a wealth of experience and insight into how education, particularly at the master's level, can empower professionals to lead, to innovate, to create lasting impacts in their industries. I am delighted to introduce Mr. Adrian Foto, a seasoned professional in banking and finance service sector. He currently serves as a business manager at the NFC Bank, bringing with him 14 years of experience marked by a strong focus on performance, client proximity, and innovation. Today, he is going to share insights on how advanced education and practical finance acumen go hand in hand in building a successful, future-ready career. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to everyone in the audience, thank you so much for being here. Whether you are considering a master's degree, or you're currently pursuing one, or you're just here to explore your options, this session is designed with you in mind. So we hope you leave here with clarity, inspiration, and of course, actionable insights. Our theme of this first phase of the webinar is preparing master's graduates for global careers. Now, without further ado, let's dive into it by inviting our moderator for the day, Madame Fotabe. Madame, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, Nadine. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you and welcome, everyone. I'm not going to be saying anything after the very interesting introductions. We'll just let our keynote speaker take the mic and tell us what he has prepared for us. Thank you very much, Mr. Inongene. You know, I'm always very excited to hear you speak, and today is no exception. I know that today is going to be as interesting as ever. So you have the floor, please. Thank you.
Excellent. So good evening, everyone. And thanks for being here. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. First of all, I want to thank Nadine for that very explosive introduction. I think Nadine can be a good campaign manager for a presidential candidate.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I also want to thank Lucy, who was organizing everything and coordinating with me. So first, you know, I'd like to thank Dr. Fotabe and her management team for inviting me here to present a keynote address to this institution where I'm so proud to have earned my MBA in international business, an MBA that has equipped me with solid skills and competencies that has shaped the leader that I am today. So first, the distinguished faculty at FUNIC Business School, fellow alumni, I see some familiar faces, current students, graduates, and potential students. Welcome to this session, and thanks for being here. The topic, beyond certificates, skills, and competences that multinationals expect from master's graduates, it's one that is not only crucial and timely at this point in time, but it is also a topic that strongly resonates with me. And this is because I'm a strong believer of the need for us to align our skills and experiences to the demands and expectations of the global market. I so believe in this because I'm a real example of what it means to live from Moliko to the boardrooms of New York, Dubai, Singapore, Paris, just to name a few. So when I look at the audience here today, I imagine a broad range of faces, leaders with years of experience, pondering on how they can upskill themselves to move to the next level of their career, current students who are currently undergoing their master's training and wondering what would be the next step for them. I see you. Perhaps potential students that are still hanging on the fence and trying to decide if to invest in a master's program at FUNIC or not. I see you as well. When I look at this broad range of faces and profiles, I'm convinced about one thing, that on this call, we've got an army of very experienced and future leaders that can change the business landscape in Cameroon, Africa, and the globe at large. We've got great potential, but we have to build the right skills that align with the global market. So your degree will open doors for you, but it is your skills and experience that will keep those doors open and propel you to go up the ladder within your career. So let's talk about, the world beyond certifications. And let's be very honest. In today's competitive global business landscape, your degrees are just not enough because the world has become so competitive. Multinational companies do not look out for credentials and certifications. Rather, they look out for skills and competences, talent that can drive change, innovation, and impact growth. Talent that can drive the company towards success and growth. This is what multinational companies are looking for. I know this because I've been privileged to work for some of the great multinational Fortune 500 companies, from Bosch to Cambridge to Caterpillar to APR Energy to Puma Energy and to 247 Solar, where I serve as a global business development manager. I've been lucky to close deals at boardrooms from New York to Dubai to Paris and been to over 45 countries in my career, and never for once was I asked what my credentials were. But more times than I can count, I was asked about what value I can bring to the table. Questions like, can you solve this customer problem? Can you navigate this complex business environment with agility? Can you add value to my business today and tomorrow? When I think of these questions, it boils down to a simple theory from my perspective. Your certification is the ticket to the game. But in the global marketplace, the game is played with skills and competence, which means that as young leaders, we are compelled to invest in skills and competences and not just meaningless degrees or certifications. So I guess this begs the question from my audience: is it important to invest in a master's degree, especially those offered by FUNIC Business School and other reputable institutes in Cameroon? The answer is a resounding yes. So it's really not about if you should invest in a master's or not. The real question is, what kind of master's should you invest in, and what kind of skills should you seek to get out of this master's program? This is the real question. So, what do multinational companies want? This is a very important question. The answer is simple. As you build your career, you need to think about what career path you want to take. What are your aspirations? You need to research what skills and competencies are required in that particular field, and then align your options with those aspirations. Before joining FUNIC MBA program, I already had a master's in marketing strategy from the University of Gloucestershire in the UK, and I had a thriving career. However, I saw great opportunities in sales and business development, and I was told by
the speaker is muted.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
It's
Great.
okay now.
No, okay.
Great. So for the few seconds you lost me, I was saying that before joining the FUNIC's MBA program in international business, I had already earned my master's in marketing strategy from the University of Gloucestershire. However, in alignment with my aspirations, I quickly identified gaps that I needed to fill. I wanted to make a transition into senior sales management and international business, and I needed to fill those gaps. And FUNIC was the answer. My MBA in international business equipped me with the skills and competencies that I was lacking to make that transition. And this really helped me develop a strong foundation to drive a career transition from marketing into senior sales management. And today I am the global business development manager that speaks with you today. So it's very, very important to make the smart and right decision at the master's level, because this can really determine the rest of your career. So again, multinational companies aren't looking for credentials or titles or degrees. They want skills. So what kind of skills do multinational companies look for in master's degree holders? First, critical thinking and problem-solving skills. The world is a very challenging one. We've seen economic downturns. We've seen tariffs from Mr. Trump impacting the mining industry. We've seen the Chinese impacting global trade. We've seen wars in the Middle East. So businesses require leaders that can think critically and make smart decisions. Leaders that can think on their feet and help the company forecast and make smart decisions that would lead them to the right direction. Secondly, businesses require talent with skills in cross-cultural communication. A very, very good example for those in international business. When I took on my MBA program with the the FUNIC Business School, one of my courses was cross-cultural communication. This was my biggest gap as a business development manager, because I was a marketing guy with no global experience in business development. And with this course, I was able to fill those gaps and understand cross-cultural communication, emotional intelligence, international communication nuances. All that is important to be able to drive business at a global level. So this is a very good typical example. Digital fluency is another skill that multinational companies require. Every business today is a digital business. It doesn't matter if you're an accountant, you're a human resource manager, you're a marketer, you're a salesperson, business development, you're a teacher. You need some digital skills because every company is becoming digital. Just to give you a good example, without this digital platform called Zoom, Madame Fotabe would have to book me a flight and pay a hotel so I can come to Cameroon and speak to you. But because this digital platform is available, we can have this session without having to meet in person or physically. Another very important skill is leadership and collaboration. Multinational companies are looking for talent that can take the driver's seat. People that are good thinkers that can take initiative and take the lead and drive projects across the finish line. This doesn't require certain degrees. It requires a certain set of skills. Leadership, management, communication, relationship management, networking. Those are all skills that it takes to happen. You will notice that I've shared with you a couple of skills that international multinational companies require. Not once have I mentioned a certain degree. So it's really not about your degrees or your certification, but really about the skills. And finally, resilience and adaptability. We are living in an ever-changing business environment. Rates, taxes are changing, tariffs are changing, macro factors are affecting businesses. Companies, especially multinational companies, look out for talent that are very tenacious and have the ability to adapt to change. As a leader in the global space, how do you quickly adapt to changes? So a tariff impacts your price and you lose margins by 10%. How do you adjust to that? There's COVID hitting your business. How do you adapt to that? Your company has to downsize and lose 50% of the employees. How do you adapt to that? So these are some of the key skills that are crucial for those who envisage a global career or a career with multinational companies. So again, I've shared with you 5 concrete skills that multinational companies look for, and I haven't mentioned a single degree program. So it's not about the degrees you're going to earn, it's about the skills that you're going to derive from this degree program. This is what is crucial. So let's talk about certification and competencies and how I was able to navigate this landscape. Some of you follow me on LinkedIn. I've had the pleasure of working with top companies, Fortune 500 companies. And in my case, I quickly understood that there was a crucial need for me to align my skills and experiences with the global market, because this is the direction I wanted to take. I wanted to build a career beyond Cameroon, beyond Africa. I envisaged myself as a global leader that I am today. I actually envisaged this and I worked towards it. So what did I do? Number one, making sure that I'm up to date with the global trends in business, especially in my industry. You have business students that have never picked up a business magazine or a business newspaper. That just doesn't work. I had to identify soft skills that can accompany my core skills. As a business development manager, what are the soft skills that I need? Communication, customer relationship management. So I invested in many short courses that would add value to the master's degree that I have already. This set a solid foundation for me to navigate my career. But also networking. In business, we say your network is your net worth. Very, very important. I was surprised during my first business development interview, after going through the first 3 phases with flying colors, and then at the last stage, I was asked, can you show us your list of networks? I didn't have any. I was surprised that in business development, you actually need to show a potential employer your list of contacts. They need to be sure that you are a connected person. I didn't know this was a requirement. You need no degree to do this, but this networking is a very important skill. And for those of us in sales and business development, this is a requirement for leadership role. If you're being hired in the mining sector, you need to show them a list of 100 mines that you can call tomorrow and get business done. So your networking skill becomes very, very crucial for your career at this level. So for my audience today, I guess this begs the question, how do you prepare? Number one, learn beyond the classroom. When I was a student in the UK, I had a lecturer who told me, as an MBA student, 30% of your skills will be gathered in class and 70% is going to be gathered by you out of class. And I was totally confused. But now I understand. Your own research, your own networking, building your soft skills, meeting new people, all of that is crucial. Secondly, build a network. Connect with people on LinkedIn. And sometimes I mentor lots of young people who, connect with me on LinkedIn. I have mentees from Dubai, from Egypt, from Morocco, from Cameroon, different countries across Africa. And I tell them that my last 5 jobs, I've never applied for a job. My last 5 jobs, the companies all reached out to me and they can't believe it. And I tell them it's true. I have to screenshot the first message and show them that when you build yourself at a certain level in your career, you wouldn't have to apply for a job because companies will reach out to you, but you have to build that brand. You have to build that network. When the people see those you're connected to, they already have a certain level of respect. It's same in business. You need to build your network. You need to meet new people, and that adds significant value to your profile as a professional. Third, focus on outcomes and not on titles. In Cameroon, we are very focused on titles, but titles are good, but the skills that accompany those titles are very, very, very important. So imagine that I was, maybe 20 years old, and I told you I was a doctor, and I presented myself as Dr. Nongene. Well, what experience do I have at 20? Of course, you have doctors. In the medical field, it could be based on your research. You even have teen doctors. But really, my point is those titles need to be backed with solid experience that can be showcased, because companies don't really care about those titles. To be honest, you have CEOs that only have a bachelor's degree and they lead top companies. And then you have PhD holders that work with credit unions in Bamenda and Boya. It's true. So it's all about the skills. It's really not about the titles that you carry with you. So focus on outcomes and not on the titles. Third, finally, commit to long-term learning. One of the biggest mistakes that we make as young professionals, and that I learned the hard way, is that when you stop learning, you stop being relevant. The world is changing on a daily basis. The CEO of Nokia was asked, what do you think you did wrong to leave from the #1 phone brand in the world to not even being part of the top 1050? And he said, I don't know. I did everything right. And he was laughed at because the world was changing to smartphones and he was focused on the same. Same with those at BlackBerry. So the world changes rapidly. That's why we need to commit to lifelong learning. Learn a new skill, take a new certification course. Lots of certification courses online that cost only $5. Some of them are free. Take them and learn something new. That will keep enhancing your knowledge in your industry and equipping you for the challenge ahead. So I'm about to wrap up my keynote, and I want to sound a few things as loud as I can be, especially to the current students and graduates and graduate students. Your certification is proof of what you've learned, but your skills and competence is proof of what you can deliver. And I must tell you, nobody cares about what you've learned. Everybody cares about what you can deliver, because this is what companies pay for. So the world doesn't just need degree holders. Rather, the world badly needs, I must say, problem solvers, visionary thinkers, resilient leaders that can drive growth and success in the mix of complexity. So when you leave this session today, I'm hoping that you've had a good understanding, or at least a high-level understanding of what the global market requires in terms of talent and skills, and how you can position yourself for these global opportunities. This is very important because the world gets more and more competitive, and those that do not align themselves with the realities of the business world will be left behind. Let's face it, at the end of the day, it's really not about a piece of paper. It's about the value in your mind, in your heart, and in your character that sets you apart in the global business world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ntongwe Nongene.
Thank you very much.
Learned so much from this session.
Great.
Great. Now, these are some of the main points that I took from your presentation. You spoke about adding value. You talked about what can a master's degree holder bring to the table. Is he a critical thinker? Is he a problem solver? Does he have skills and qualities that the employers are looking for in the master's degree holder? Does he have communication skills, digital skills, leadership? Can he collaborate? Can he network? Can he build relationships? Is he resilient? And can he adapt? These are just a few that I took from your presentation. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely enriching and worth the time. Dear participants, I'm expecting your questions. Please text your questions on the chat box and I'll read them out. Now we have one question already for you.
Bring it.
Great. So how did you get your first multinational job, and how did you approach the company? That is a question coming from Madame Lucy Etta.
Great. So, Madame Lucy Etta, thanks for that great question. And I'm very happy you asked that. So, Madame Lucy, just a question for you. Do you have a LinkedIn account?
Yes, sir, I do.
Excellent. So, LinkedIn is a powerful tool. So, that job is the first job I applied, after my MBA in the UK, and since then, I've never applied for another job. So I saw that job on LinkedIn. I applied for it. I got the job. But you see that after that job, I've worked for Bosch, I've worked for Caterpillar, I've worked for Prima Energy, I've worked for APR Energy, and today I work for 247 Solar as Global Business Development Managers. This is 5 jobs after that one. That is the only job I've ever applied for by myself since my master's. Every other job, the companies reached out to me and say, please, we want to hire you.
Wow.
So LinkedIn is a great tool. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, go create one. If you need help to structure your account, call me. I'm going to get on a call with you and help you. It's a great tool think about it as a professional dating site, right? Some of you here have dating sites and you have your best photos on there, your best history about yourself, what you like, fun things about you. But on your LinkedIn profile, you don't even have a photo. You have nothing that says about your skills and competences, right? So it's very, very important to have a strong LinkedIn profile. It attracts the right companies to you. And this is where I got my first international job, and every other one, the companies reached out to me and, and proposed, offered to interview me for the opportunities at their business. So that's my answer to your question. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Great. Thank you so much for that. And of course, participants, if you had paid attention, you must have noticed that the keynote speaker has stressed on us having LinkedIn accounts to build a professional career. That's very important. Now, the next question we have for you is, what would you tell someone who already has a master's degree but lacks the competences?
Great. So that's a very good question. So someone who already has a master's degree and lack the competences. Now, this is a very good question. And this just goes back to what I was sharing during my keynote address, that your master's degree is a qualification, but you have a personal responsibility to get the skills, to earn the skills that you want to earn from this master's qualification. Now, when you have a class of master's degree students, you're going to have 3 grades of master's degrees graduates. They're all going to graduate, but they are in 3 categories. You're going to have the A-class graduates. These are people who've gone through the master's degree and the master's degree has gone through them. These are people who've done their extra research and try to apply theory to practice, either through internships or projects, or even being part of projects while they are on the master's degree. These are the A students. And they're going to have those who are just going to leave, with a great result. They had a second-class upper, they had a distinction, but they're not going to go anywhere. And they're going to have the lackluster ones who barely went through the master's degree and barely really got any concrete skills. And you're going to wonder, how do you have the same class and 3 different set of people? It's very possible. In fact, this is the reality with students in school. So if you have a master's degree and you feel like maybe you took the master's degree when you're young and you didn't really focus on it, now you have a chance to correct that mistake. A couple of things you can do. Number 1, you can take short courses on this area. You see a master's degree, you have short courses that can compress that master's degree into a 1-week course, right? In fact, there's a free ebook online called the 30-day MBA. So it simply takes a complete MBA course and breaks it down in single chapters. Every MBA course is just a chapter, it's a book, right? And if you are an MBA graduate and you feel like during your MBA days, you were the most focused students and now you want to get back on track, you can get a product like this and read and catch up. And the second thing you can do is take short courses. Take short courses. There are many platforms: Udemy, Coursera, Allison, LinkedIn Learning. For those who have a premium account, you have hundreds, if not thousands, of courses on LinkedIn Learning that you can learn every day. I've taken almost 200 of them. Some of those courses only take 2 hours, some 1 hour, some 30 minutes, some 5 hours. Take those short courses and build your skills. And thirdly, internship. Internship is how you convert theory to practice, because you never know what you know unless you try using it, right? If you get out with an accounting degree, you really don't know if you're an accountant until you have to complete an accounting task in a company. It's same as a business development manager. It's same as a marketing manager. It's same as a marketing communication manager. You never really know if you're really a marketing communications expert until you're challenged to build a marketing communication plan and drive the execution of that plan. So these are some of the steps you can take to build the skills when you already have that master's degree and feel like you have a couple of skills gap. And it's a very, very honest thing to say, hey, I have a master's degree, but then I have a field gap. It's a self-realization, and this is a great opportunity for you to work towards closing those gaps and charging forward.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir. We are going to move on because you have a lot of thank you messages, appreciative messages from the participants who are learning a lot. And of course, Henry Owona says that this is a world-class presentation. I have personally learned a lot. The experience and knowledge shared is absolutely amazing. Now, Dr. Tako, great. Dr. Tako wants to know that once you feel like you have the competencies, what steps do you take to seize global opportunities? That's the next question for you.
Great, Dr. Tako, that's a very good question. I believe in the slogan about, acting local and thinking global. And this has always been my thing. I have joked around with a couple of friends, and they thought I was joking, but I wasn't joking about where I thought I'm going to be at a certain point in my career. And some thought it was madness, but now you can all see that it's possible. You can leave from Moliko and become a business development director, marketing director, finance director for Africa, for Central Africa. Very, very possible. In fact, that is a norm today for those who work hard. So, your question is, if you already have the business development. Come again?
The question. I should take the question again, right?
Yes.
Okay, that once you feel like you have the competencies already,
yes,
what steps do you
So
need?
once you feel like you have the competence, what steps? So that's what I was driving to. So
Yes.
I believe in, acting local and thinking global, which means you start small, but you aim big, right? So of course, having the competence and the skills wouldn't take you immediately to global business development manager or to take you to global business finance director, global human resource manager. You have to build blocks. It's like a house. You have to build a foundation. You have to be ready to build the wall. You have to be ready to do the decking until you get to the top. And for me, I'm still somewhere building the walls, I'm not yet at decking. So you have to start building yourself. You have the competencies, you have the skills, start building your profile. And building your profile has to do with not just the kind of roles you go for, but the kind of results that you want to have, because those results are going to help propel you to the next opportunity. You can showcase and say, hey, this is what I achieved. Like one of the things I used in setting myself on this role, I showed how I had built African-wide strategies for companies. When Pima Energy hired me, they were going to start their renewable energy business from zero, and I was hired to build the go-to-market strategy, hire the team for Africa, train all the sales managers, the business development managers, one in each region, North Africa, South Africa, East, West, Central Africa, and build that team. Big responsibility. So when you're able to show such concrete results, you're able to convince, global leaders that you are indeed deserving of this opportunity. So one is building your profile gradually, occupying roles that can take you there. Secondly, take short courses. I really believe in short courses because I believe that, imagine that my first MBA, I had it in 2012. It's totally useless today. It's totally useless, right? In fact, I had my MBA in international business with FUNIC, I think 2014. I have 2 other certifications in international business because I wanted to make sure that MBA is still relevant. So I need to learn what is latest in international business today. So I really believe in, adding value to your skills, taking short courses that get you there. Next, you need to network. Very, very important. You need to network with people because you never know where you need someone, a reputable person, to put in a word for you and say, hey, this guy might have worked in Africa for the last 10 years, but he's a global talent. He's showcased that he can interact globally and he can drive projects with the global team. He has a strong sense of cross-cultural awareness. Even though he's in Africa, he has dealt with Americans, Australians, French, and different people. He understands cross-cultural communication, cross-cultural business. So these are some of the building blocks that personally I leveraged to get to that global position. So I think you can emulate the same, build yourself gradually, new roles, improve your skills, network, and build a profile that represents you. It's very important. I can't overemphasize the need to build a positive professional profile. And LinkedIn is the go-to place. Sometimes people hire you and they just look at your LinkedIn and it just doesn't look like the person they're speaking to, and they cannot reconcile the 2 personalities, right? And it just turns them off, So it's very important to build that profile because this is your first connection between you and this company that is considering you for a global opportunity. So that's your answer.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Now we have a lot of questions, but time is not on our side. So I think we'll rush with how you respond to these questions. The next is coming from Ekule Simon Ebong wants to know how you would react if you were asked to take on a role or a task outside your comfort zone. I'm proposing that we rush a little bit with these questions because we have to go to the next agenda.
So what's the name? What's the name of the?
Simon Ebong.
Okay, Simon Ebong. So Ebong, that's a very good question. In fact, I like being out of my comfort zone. I'm a marketing person by heart. That's my background. And now I'm working in energy, developing large-scale energy projects around the world. So I actually like that challenge. So when you have such an opportunity, it's a challenge, but again, it's an opportunity to prove that you are adaptable. Remember one of the skills I talked about, resilience and adaptability. This is how you show that you are capable of adapting to drastic changes in the business landscape. That you can leap from being a marketing guy to leading the mining team at Caterpillar to leading the energy team for a global American company. So it's real. To keep the answer short, it's an opportunity for you to prove that you're capable of adapting and learning quickly and delivering results. So any results you're able to deliver, it just goes a long way to show that you have that ability to adapt and to thrive in complexity.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I believe Mr. Simon has grasped your response.
Okay.
And to the next question, you still have more questions coming up. How do you position yourself for global opportunities after building these competencies that you speak of? This question is coming from Oni.
Yes. So this question is great. So 2 things can happen, Oni. If you have a great profile, you would have an employer come to you and say, hey, we would like to interview for this role. The second thing that can happen is that you start exploring global opportunities and giving it a try. Don't doubt for a second that because you're in Boya or you're in Douala or you're in Bamenda, you're not qualified for a global role. You are very, very, very qualified. People are just scared to try. So I say the answer is now start giving it a try. Start giving it a try until you get an opportunity to interview for one of these roles. But again, I can't overemphasize the need to not only think like someone who's in a global role, but act like one. Your profile should speak this language as well. because this is going to be the company's first interaction with you, right? When they look at your profile, they should tell that this person is a global talent. They look at what kind of webinars you listen to, what kind of events do you go to, what kind of discussions do you partake in, what kind of, are you involved in focus group discussions on global topics? All of that is very important to position yourself for these global opportunities.
Amazing. Now, if you can still hear me, Henry Obona wants to know, would like for you to share your social media handles, especially LinkedIn, because he wants to connect.
Absolutely. I'm very happy with that question. I was waiting for someone to ask. I'd have been surprised if no one did. So I'm sharing that right now while we move to the next question.
Okay, for the next question, Oni wants to know how you balance tailoring your profile to local job market while keeping it globally attractive. How do you balance tailoring your profile to local job market while keeping it globally attractive?
So how do you tailor your profile to local job markets while making it globally attractive? Good. So that's a good question. I'm going to answer this in two folds. Number one, when talking about your profile, your CV can never be standard. I don't have one CV. I have a CV for every job. Every job. This is one mistake that professionals make. They have one CV. CDC contacts you, you send the same CV. When MTN contacts you, you send the same CV. When Prima Energy contacts you, send the same CV. Those are three different industries, and your skills are not relevant the same in all the industries. So every job has a specific CV. So this is, if you've never heard this before, hear it today. When you receive a call from a recruiter headhunting you and send your CV, just do a new CV for that particular job so that you can tailor your skills, the skills that are most relevant to that industry, right? To that industry. It's very, very important. Now, in terms of your profile, you can never want your profile to look like a local profile unless you just want to be a local talent. You know, I have always believed that Cameroon was my starting point and not my destination. I've always known this, that it was my starting point and not my destination in career-wise. So I never looked at my profile as a Cameroonian professional. I always looked at my profile as an African professional. So I knew, or I envisaged myself working in other countries in Africa, right? And when you have that as a mindset, you know, you're driven emotionally. I want to say spiritually, but I don't want people to think I'm talking church spirituality. I'm talking about the way you think is the way you act, right? If you think like a local guy who is meant for business in Boya, you end with those small companies in Boya. If you start thinking like a guy who is good for companies in Douala, you're going to get there. And if you think like the guy who has made it wants to get to Douala, whereas for someone in Douala, that's like an internship for them because they're thinking about going beyond that. So the way you position yourself mentally is going to determine what attracts you. So your profile, for instance, on LinkedIn, it can never be a profile for a local opportunity. It has to be a profile that says, I am a talent, full stop, a talent that is good for everyone, for Cameroon employers, for other African employers, and for global employers. So you don't need to make your profile local, only your CV. So for instance, if someone contacts for a job and say country director for Cameroon, there are country director roles that could pay more than my job. Now I will need to, you know, hammer on my experience in Cameroon and to tell how much I'm Cameroonian, how I've lived in Boya, Yaoundé, I know Cameroon. I will need to sing a lot of that in my profile so they don't think this is some guy who just left from Boya and then went to global roles. They should know that I've worked in Cameroon, I've lived in Cameroon. So now I will need to adapt my profile to that. It doesn't mean that I'm going to silence everything I've done out of Cameroon, but in this case, my competencies as a leader are important, but this employer wants to understand that this guy knows Cameroon, he's worked in Cameroon, and he understands the challenge of doing business in Cameroon, and he can lead a country operation in Cameroon.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Now, the next question here is from Margot. She wants to know that she says there is a common question where do you see yourself in 5 years? It is easy for us to say, but I wish to know how to strategize to make sure that you get to where you want to be in 5 years, assuming that the person in question is an HND holder.
Okay. So, that's a very good question, Margot, but this question, if you're asked this question in an interview, is different when you're pondering on this question yourself.
Right.
If you're asked this question in an interview, the employer is trying to find out two things. The number one, they're trying to find out if you see yourself in the company in the long term or not. That's number one. So your first answer should be your next role within that company. Secondly, the employer is trying to find out if you are a long-term thinking person or you are a short-term thinking person. And leaders are people who are long-term. They can see the future. They are not magicians, but they have a plan, right? They have a plan. So the employer wants to be sure that you're a long-term person who has a clear vision of where you want to be in the long term and how you plan to get there. And it makes sense for them if that plan aligns with you being in the company. So for instance, if my company now asks me, what is your plan for the next 10 years? I'm giving them my roadmap on how I want to become CEO of the company. That's what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them, after this role, I want to be VP for Africa. After this, I want to be VP in this division. After this, I want to grow up to be global chief commercial officer. After that, I want to become CEO. That's going to be my plan. So you need to show the company that you see yourself growing with them and you see a path to leadership within the company. And you have to show them that you know where you want to be and you have a clear plan to get there.
Amazing. I do hope that this question has been satisfied. The person who asked the question is satisfied with the response. Thank you so much. Now, there is a comment from Njegani Lovett. He says that God bless the organizers of this webinar because the presentation is opening my mind to new perspective. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, we have the link, the LinkedIn link of our keynote speaker, if we all want to connect with him. Now, some of the key points from his presentation has been that we should start small, but we should definitely aim big. And of course, we should update our CVs for every job that we're applying for. That's very, very important. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And our keynote speaker, Mr. Ntongwe Inongene, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. We've learned so much from your insights this evening. We are grateful. And now I'll pass the mic over to our moderator, Madam Fotabe, Dr. Fotabe Elmin, as we move to the next phase of the program. Doctor, are you there?
I am. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Inongene. Thank you. Thank you. I know that all the participants are going home very satisfied because your presentation was very insightful. I picked out something I want to reiterate, which is something I'm going to leave here with. It's not about a piece of paper, but it's about the value in your mind, in your heart, and in your character. Thank you so much. That is what I am living here with, and I know that everyone is living with something. Thank you so much. If you're staying with us, our dear keynote speaker will be happy. If you're leaving us, thank you for the insights you shared with us this evening. Now we're going to have on our, thank you, Mr. Inongene. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Madam Fotabe, for the opportunity. And you have a very engaging audience here. I just want to thank them for their attention and for all the great questions. Hopefully, we'll have more sessions in the future. I think as leaders, we have a lot to share with each other to help each other grow. So I wish everyone the best in their careers, and please do not hesitate to reach out on LinkedIn. If you need any guidance or any sort of help professionally, I'll be more than happy to give a helping hand. So I'm going to go on mute and stay on for a while, and then I'm going to log out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Enogene. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So now we are going to transition to our panel discussion. I hope that all the panelists are here. It may be very nice to have them on camera so we can see them before we begin. So we're going to have very good Mr. Romeo Kitio. We can see you. I'm sure we have Mr. Nogel Lovis with us too. We have Mr. Photo Adrian, who are our panelists for the evening. So if you're here, let us see you, please. Good evening to all of you. So we've had an amazing...
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. We've had an amazing first part of today's program, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I know that we are going to enjoy the second part. The beautiful thing about all of this is that you all are part of this same community, the FUNIC Business School community, and it's beautiful to see what all of you have been able to achieve. I'm really proud, and I'm happy that you all agreed to be here this evening. So I'm going to ask, host, do we have the other panelists? Do we have them here?
Yes, madam, they are connected.
Okay.
I don't know if they can hear us, but they are connected. Mr. Lovis is there. Mr. Adrian is there.
Please, can you unmute your microphones and let us know if you can hear us?
5 on 5, madam. We can get you very well.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm getting you. I'm getting you. It's okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Adrian. Can we also hear from Mr. Nogel Lovis?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice to have you. Good evening. So this is going to be a discussion. It's going to be a discussion, and I hope that you're going to share without reservations, please. My first question is going to be to all of you, all three of you. And this question is, how did you make the choice of your master's degree, and how instrumental has that choice been in your career? We are going to start with Mr. Nogel Lovis. Please tell us, how did you make the choice of your master's degree, and how instrumental has that choice been in your career?
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. Before embarking on my master's degree, I had a vision of where I wanted to be. Like, I already kind of mapped out like a kind of a plan where I was and where I hope to be, say, in 5 years. So my idea was, before doing that, I sort of kind of said, okay, I'm here now. In 5 years, I hope to be maybe at the boardroom, maybe a senior manager, senior director, CXO in the boardroom, and things like that. That was the first thing. Now, as far as career is concerned, I always look at career in two ways. I look at career as, number one, being a vocation, number two, being a profession. The difference between the two I'll explain so I understand how my strategic plan was. Now, when we talk about the vocation, it's like something which is higher than the profession. It's like the principal calling, what motivates you, what drives you. I want to be a problem solver. I want to be able to solve problems for businesses. I want to be able to be the person they come to when they have problems. I consider that as my vocation. Now, my profession is that of a project manager. So having mapped out that career, I wanted to move maybe to CXO, Chief Project Officer, Program Director, Head of Program Management Office, things like that. So the first thing I did is I contacted FUNIC. I contacted their course outline. I consulted the course outline. Based on the course outline, I noticed that the course outline was closely aligned with Institute, PMI, US. In fact, I went to the PMI website and I noticed that the partner of FUNIC, which was Rome Business School at that time, was a member in the list of registered education providers. So that was the first tick. Secondly, I wanted to know the methodology, how the teaching was done. It was very practical oriented, and I loved most especially the applied business research. It was something I'd not done before, and the way the course was structured in such a way that it gave me skills on structured problem solving, which was exactly what I needed. So that's how I made the choice. So I made the choice based on my strategic plan, my vision. Secondly, I made the choice based on the fact that the course outline was in alignment with what I wanted. And then thirdly, the methodology, namely the applied business research part of FUNIC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lovis. And when you made this choice, what role did you occupy? I understand that right now you are senior IT manager for Orange Cameroon. But when you made this choice to pursue a master's degree, what role did you hold in which company? And how has this master's degree been instrumental in your growth to becoming senior IT manager for Orange Cameroon?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. The master's degree gave me a lot of confidence and boost because I was coming from a background where professionally I had some of the highest certificates in project management. You'd hear of things like PMP, PGMP, PFMP, which is like the first degree master's and PhD level of project management in the professional milieu. Now, I wanted something in academia, which was a master's degree. Once I had that now, even though my title didn't change in the company, but I noticed that I was able to handle more strategic projects. For reasons of confidentiality, I cannot discuss on the projects here. But after that master's degree, the kind of projects I handled were very, very, very top secret and top notch for Orange Cameroon. I may not be able to mention them because of confidentiality, but the master's degree gave me that air. And also with the master's degree, I said, okay, since I was able to do this, why don't I go to the next level, which is the DBA? And that pushed me to like go to the highest level, which is the Doctor of Business Administration. So basically, it gave me number one, confidence. It changed the way I look at life. It improved my concept of structured problem solving. Normally, if I have a problem, I know how to look at the main problem. In fact, everything we studied during the applied business research course, that course completely transformed my life, transformed how I look at projects, transformed how I do my work. I've had more responsibilities, manage sensitive projects. I now, before I used to manage projects internally to the company, enterprise projects, but right now I do what we call public-private partnership projects with the government, with other stakeholders. It's really big, it's huge.
Thank you. It's big, it's huge. That's what I want our viewers to take home. It's possible. Thank you very much. I'll turn to Mr. Romeo Kitio and I'll ask you the same question. How did you make the choice of your master's degree? And how important has this master's degree been in your career?
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. I'm very glad to attend this forum. What can I say? In fact, my domain is a bit different. I've heard about Mr. Inogene talking, Mr. Lovis Noge also. Their corridor is a bit different. In my domain, as an engineer agronome, I have the chance to start my career in plantation. Agro-industrial plantation, the scope is when you are a young graduate and engineer, you take the position of a plantation executive. So they gave you a site that you have to manage with 300 to 500 people and around 1,500 hectares of rubber, of plantation. It can be rubber or it can be palm oil, but in the Vecam where I was working, it was rubber. So you can know agronomy. In fact, as an engineer, you know the techniques, you know how to tap the rubber, how the things can, in fact, how to control pests, that's pest and disease management. You know all those things, but where you are in trouble, that you are just a young guy, less than 30 years, and they say that you have to manage 300 people. That means from the agent maîtrise, you are the executive, you have like 3 agent maîtrise, controller, chef d'équipe, and the tapas, or the workers, that constitute the main manpower. In fact, it's first of all a kind of shock because you have gone in school, you got your diploma. They have never taught in school how to manage such a big number. So you realize that you have to manage, you have to make sure you succeed to. So it was clear that adding to my technical expertise, I needed managerial knowledge. So for me, it was very clear that I need to know how to manage people, how to manage those who are elder than you, how to manage those who know the job than you, more than you, because I had some collaborators who were in the plantation for 15, 20 years. But maybe because he's not an engineer, you are his boss. So you should know how to manage him such that he will not be your first enemy. Because when you arrive like this, they will say, we are here already 15 years, 20 years, and they go and bring some young student from the university to come and lead us, to come and be our boss. So at the beginning, they are not easy. They don't accept you so easily. They will tell you that you have the age of their first child. And then you have to do with it. So progressively, I learned how to be humble, approach them, not to be the big boss who just some small tips that I've learned when growing, that I've learned in church, that I've learned here and there from the family to see how to gather the people and make them work together to touch the target. Because in those multinational companies, either you get the target or they say you are not competent. So I was dealing with my career like this and it was not easy. So doing a master's degree was for me a kind of if I want to further my knowledge or if I want to grow in the business and one day be a plantation director, have a full experience in managing figures and people, then I can hope maybe in 10 years or 15 years career, I can be a top manager, or why not a CEO of a company. So when I went to FUNIC, a friend advised me that I can do an MBA master degree with FUNIC online. So because I was in a bush, Evecam is very far. So the fact that it was online, it was very interesting. At that time, I was already with Olam. And when I got to Olam, I was financially able to pay my master courses. So that was one advantage because when leaving Evecam to go to Olam, my salary increased also. So for me, no need to lose time. I directly looked for it and I knew I can do it. Then I have marketing, but was not really interested. I chose project management because for me, it would be a good way to learn about human resource management in the project, to learn about procurement, to learn, in fact, all what goes with managing the whole of the project. That was really my need. So you see on my profile, and I'm very grateful that Dr. Fotabe, Dr. Ronald Tako, that at that time, they were the one that admitted, that helped me being at distance. So when I was coming to Cameroon for leave or arrange, they will help me cope or catch up with the courses that where I was late. So the language was a barrier at the beginning, but I'm a francophone at the basics, so it was not easy.
Yeah.
But for me, it was clear I needed to know how to manage a large number of people in an environment, in a very competitive environment. Because at that time at Olam, I was having more than 1,000 people to manage. So maybe I can say that for the moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You saw the need. You saw the need. And then you knew that the master's degree was the right thing. And then you saw the possibility of doing that online. FUNIC offers online, and you saw that that was the best thing to do. I was going to underline something about the language you did already. I remember the first few days it was tough for you, but today I am happy that you're fluent. You could go through your master's degree in English, and today you're very fluent.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. I'll ask Mr. Adrian Photo the same question. Tell us, what was your experience? How did you choose this master's degree?
Good evening, Doctor. Good evening to everyone.
Good
Thank
evening.
you, first of all, for the opportunity that you've given to me to be able to partake in this quite enriching talk. How did I choose my master's degree? Back in those days, I used to work with a credit union, National Ports Authority Credit Union. I started working with them in 2012, and 2 years after, I was promoted to work in Kribi as a branch manager, because I started working as a loan officer. And 2 years after, I was sent as branch manager to open a new branch that was Kribi in 2014. And we usually used to have controllers from CAMCOOL, which is an umbrella organ that controls most of these Category 1 microfinance institutions. His name was Dia Godsabi. And whenever he came to my office, he will always tell me, do you know what management is expecting of you? He was very objective as a controller. And I used to like his way of doing things. So he inspired me, and 3 years after my service as branch manager, I decided to open up to him, telling him that I had a degree and I wanted to go in for an MBA. And he told me the right place to go to was FUTABE University. And so I could not hesitate. Because he was he was somebody who motivated me in all what he used to do. You can imagine a controller coming to tell you the way you can be able to break even, you need to do this, do that, bringing strategies to you, how to grow your business. And to me, he was more than a controller. And so he inspired me, and that's how I decided to enroll for my MBA program and got to FUTABE University. Yeah, that's the first part of the answer. And how it has been instrumental to me. Yes, then I was still the manager of the credit union, and NFC Bank came after. NFC Bank came in 2023, some years after. And I was recruited there as a relationship officer. Presently, I'm occupying the post of branch manager, because 1 year after I was promoted as branch manager. So the skills I learned during my stay at FUNIC actually permitted me to be able to manage people, to be able to align my vision, to be able to align my actions to the vision of top management. You know, whatever we are doing today, we need to look at what top management is up to. What are the expectations of top management? Make sure you align all your actions towards reaching those goals. Because if you fail, your place is not guaranteed. And once I'm given an opportunity, that is how I always make sure that I align to the vision of the company. And so this, my MBA has actually helped me to be able to manage the people that are under me. I have 14 people presently under me. I make sure that I manage them well. I make sure that I boost them to be able to meet those goals. I make sure that I portray this vision to them and set the pace, draw the roadmap so that every other person can be able to follow. And I make sure that I'm not indispensable. After me, some other person should be able to take up. I can be able to go on leave and, you know, have an assistant who will be able to follow through the activities while I am not in the office. Yeah, this is actually how the MBA has helped me. This is actually how the MBA has helped me. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mr. Adrian. And you see our dear participants from three diverse, they are from diverse industries. We saw telecom, we saw agro-industry, now we are seeing banking and finance, and each of them had a need, and they could see that they needed this master's degree to meet that need. And in your case, one of the things that really struck me is the fact that someone who passed through the same program told you that this is the best place to go, and you did not hesitate. I think this is what it is about. Asking the right questions to the right people, getting the right responses, and making the right decisions. That's what we are talking about here. So thank you very much. We'll proceed with Mr. Lovis. Mr. Lovis, you worked in many multinationals at home and abroad. Tell us, from your point of view, what do multinationals look for in master's degree holders?
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. I think very simple. What multinationals are looking for is what I'll call market-ready skills. And by market-ready skills, I mean skills that are in demand in the market, because the market changes. And each time, those graduates need to have the skills that are marketed, that are ready for the market. And among those skills, there are some skills that kind of appear constant, even though the market changes. And I'll list them briefly. The first one is what I call structured problem solving. It's true, you might be a problem solver, but there's a way, there is a process to go about solving problems for multinationals. And that's where courses like applied business research comes in. The second one is the ability to communicate effectively and efficiently. And by communication, I'm not just talking about talking. You have different modes and different ways of communicating. For example, if you communicate to the board of directors, it's different from if you communicate to your manager, different from if you communicate to your project team, different from if you're communicating to a peer, a fellow project manager. So you have those different levels. And with each of the audiences, there is a targeted way of going about communicating. There is what they expect to hear, what they expect to know. So it's involving effective and efficient communication. The third thing which I'll mention is strategy, because everything we do in the company has to align with whatever top management has in mind, where we are going to. And most companies always have this strategic plan. And when you're recruited because you have a role to play in achieving some KPI, some objective, which is in line with the global plan. So you also need to have some understanding of what strategy is all about. The next thing you need to also have is you need to have the spirit of continuous learning. Because like I said, the market is changing. There are skills that are retiring out, there are new skills that are coming up. So you need to be that employee who has that appetite to always want to learn, who has that eagerness to always want to learn. Because you may get into a company maybe 2 years ago, in the space of 6 months, you may get to come maybe 6 months ago. In the space of 6 months, a lot of things have changed in that industry or in that marketplace, and you need to scale up to meet up. And the last, which I consider very, very important, is interpersonal and intrapersonal skills. By interpersonal, I mean relating with each other. You relate with your superiors, you relate with those under you, relate to those by the side of you. And then intrapersonal is how you manage yourself. Because if you have to be a leader, there's a certain system you have to put in place to be able to manage yourself, to manage stress, manage pressure, manage people, manage resources under you, and things like that. So globally, what they are looking for are market-ready skills. And the skills I've mentioned are some of the skills which I find constant. Over a period of about 20 years, the skills are still there. And even with AI, this skill seems to be, they seem to outlive the changes that are happening in the market. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope that the audience is taking notes. Skills, skills, skills. All the speakers today are talking about skills. They are talking about competencies. They are talking about continuous learning. This is what all the speakers are talking about today, and I hope that we all are taking notes. Thank you very much for sharing that. I'll go back to Mr. Kitio. Mr. Kito, you've managed more than 1,200 employees in 3 multinational companies. I want you to tell us, where have you usually seen master's degree holders in Cameroon lacking? And what do you think is the cause?
Thank you very much, Doctor, for this question. Thank you very much. It's a very determinant question because we don't just go to do a master for just like that. There is a need of people. Actually, companies need to optimize their costs. There are so many problems in companies. You see the tendency is to reduce the number of employees. Most of the companies now, when there's a problem in the budget somewhere, they will begin to think to reduce the personnel because salary, they have to equilibrate the volume of the salary according to the sales or according to the budget of the year. So I would like to tell you, and you surely know, that company needs people who are multi-talented. They will not say it like that. You will see now people posting jobs on LinkedIn. When you see the job description, it's like they want to recruit 5 people, but they're asking for 1 person. So companies actually need multi-talented people. If you are just a good technician, you know how to do the technique, and you cannot manage the team, they don't need you. You'll be a kind of just a worker. You will never grow in your career, and one day they will push you aside because you will be older in the team, but you cannot manage that team. They will be obliged to go and get someone who can manage. But since they need someone who can manage and who knows the techniques also, because the techniques is important. If you are just a good manager, good character, good skills in managing communication, and you don't know agronomy, for example, it will not be easy for you to be a plantation manager. You must know a bit of agronomy. So as soon as I got my master's degree, in fact, as Mr. Enongene said when he was talking, I was no more applying. Recruiters were calling me because they see I have the techniques and I can manage. So I succeeded because of the skill I learned, interpersonal skills, how to use your quotient émotionnel, quotient intellectuel, quotient d'adaptabilité. When you know how to manage those skills, when you understand the people you are working with, your collaborators, you know their weak points, you know their psychology, and then you see how to put them together in order to attain in order to get to the objective, in order to solve the problem. So I can say that in fact nowadays doing a master degree, I think one of the good things or one of your motivation should be to be a multi-talented person. Actually, for example, I know I need to learn finance because I'm already an expert in agronomy. I can manage, and you will see my LinkedIn profile. I've been evaluating, I've been improving and going from a position to another position in management. Actually, I'm doing business development in the agronomy. I train teams, I have a sales teams. In fact, I've even changed from plantation management. Now, the role I have with Solevo Cameroon, I accompany plantations because they realize that I know the technique, and since they have a good many plantation as customers, like Sokapam, Safakam, all these are our customers. So I'm able to go there because I have been in that side before. I know the language to put with them. I know how to convince them to buy our product. I know how to, if I want to put some trials on new product, field trials, and that I've been on the field, so I can do it. And I know how to convince them that the product is good. And so I can touch many aspects compared to the market, compared to the sales managers that we have that have a bachelor degree and master degree in sales, but they are not agronomists. So they will play on the prices. I will reduce your prices if you take good quantity. I will do like, they will play on the prices, they will play on the volume, they will play on many things, but they will not easily touch how this new pesticide, how this new fertilizer can help you improve or optimize your cost in this your palm oil plantation or your hoba plantation or your cotton plantation, because so the cotton is one of our big customer. I'm working with them regularly, and we can talk technique, we can talk management, we can talk cost reduction, cost optimization, and all those things. So really, I don't know if the point is there.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
What I
much.
like is you said companies need multi-talented people. I think that is the key. Most of the master's degree holders would just have their master's degree. That's what they know how to do. That's all. And they don't learn other things. So it limits them. I think that's the message that Mr. Kito is giving to you today. Whether you are already on a master's degree program now, or you graduated, or you're still contemplating it, remember that companies need people who are multi-talented. That's the key. So don't stop learning. We are going back to learning other things. There are many short courses. What you don't know is that on the FUNIC website, there's funic.co, we have free resources where we have free courses that are certified by the University of Arizona. You can go there and take free courses in finance, in accounting, in leadership, in entrepreneurship. There are free courses. So if you're here, it is funic.co. Check for free resources and you can sign up and start learning. It's free. Even your certification is free. So thank you very much for sharing that. Master's degree holders, if you're studying marketing, don't say that I'm studying marketing. Take a course in finance. Of course, that's why even the way we structure our MBA program, students learn a little bit of everything: finance, project management, accounting, entrepreneurship, so that it gives them this open mindset. But at the end of the day, even after the master's degree, please pick up other courses to sharpen your skills so that you can be this multi-talented person that companies need, as per what Mr. Kito is telling us. Thank you so much. Mr. Adrian, we'll just continue in this line of discussion. Where do you think students are getting the choice of master's degree wrong? We can say that many students are making the wrong choices. Some just want to have a master's degree. Where do you think they are getting it all wrong? What's the cause? How do you explain this?
First of all, I would like to say that it is actually because the main reason is because of a lack of clear career goal. It's true that myself too, I would have fallen into this trap. I would have missed having an MBA with FUNIC if I did not have Mr. Dia to advise me, because at that time I just wanted to upgrade. I wanted to upgrade. And I actually had some resources. I could actually pay for my fees, but Mr. Dia was God sent. And I will always appreciate him. Today he's in the US. So the first thing is people lack of clear career goal. Why I say so is because in FUNIC, we actually learned so many things. We actually learned entrepreneurship, and we carried a project from scrap up to realization. So that is the first thing. The second thing is parental pressure. You know, some parents, they will always want their children to maybe go to normal universities. Yeah, because they are recognized. They will say that these normal universities, they are recognized, they have the state backing and so on and so forth. Yeah. But like my lecturer was saying, Mr. Inongene taught me marketing at FUNIC, and I was like interacting with him. We are still interacting right up to today. Like what he said, employers want people that can solve their problems. They want people that can solve their problems. They want problem solvers. And so the second thing, like I earlier made mention of, was the parental pressure. Parents are not well guided on what is important for their children and so on. Lack of finances too. You know, having an MBA, if you don't have finances, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. So those are the three key things that that I have in mind as far as this is concerned. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lack of career goals. It's like you don't know where you're going, but you want to equip yourself. You're not going to get there very successfully. So have career goals. All the panelists and the keynote speaker are stressing on this. Have clear career goals. Where do you want to get? And I'm happy that there was a participant who asked that question. Your career goal should be very clear. Then you'll be able to see the right master's degree for you and also where you can get that master's degree is very important. Parental pressure. I also think that when people have gotten to the level of a master's degree, they should be able to help educate their parents, which means that the responsibility falls back on the learners themselves to be able to source for this information, like what we are doing this evening, and help also to, you know, educate their parents better, tell them about the changing times, tell them about their career goals, which will help lessen that pressure and help them to get the support of their parents. Thank you very much for raising those 2 points. We are going to the end. I'm going to ask you just one brief questions now. Mr. Lovis, if I were to ask you 2 courses that marked your MBA program, what would you tell me? 2 courses.
Thank you, Doctor. The first one is applied business research. The second one is emotional intelligence. And if I may add the third one, strategic management.
Wow. So tell me,
Those
what
3 courses.
exactly marked you in these courses? And what can you tell our viewers about these courses?
Okay. What marked me in the applied business research is that it's unique to FUNIC. Unique in the sense that it's not done elsewhere. Let me say that with all frankness, it's not done elsewhere. Even some of the PhD programs that I enrolled for before coming to FUNIC, they didn't have that. It's well structured, well tailored, well taught in such a way that at the end of it all, you come out with the skill on how to practically research solutions to problems that businesses face. I'd never done the course before. And doing it with FUNIC marked me because it was so unique and it was so easy at the end of the day compared to what is done elsewhere. Secondly, okay, let me just say, because at the end of that research now, we're able to come up with models which we implemented and got results. I've never seen that before. And that marked and changed the way I do my projects, the way I relate in the office, the way I bring solutions to problems that my projects face. The second course was on emotional intelligence, like how to manage people, like how to manage your emotions and the emotional intelligence to relate with other people, because we as humans, we relate to our emotions most of the time. So you have to find a system that you put in place in such a way that you can easily relate with people. People have temperaments, people have mood swings, if I can say that. And all these people, you work with them, some of them are your managers, directors, CEOs. You have to find a middle ground where you navigate among all this complex ocean of emotions. And that course helped me to do that. The third course is strategic management. And that's why I made up my mind to do a GBA in strategic management, because with that course, I was able to understand that, okay, to move from point A to point B, you need to have goals. You need to have a plan. You need to have a plan over a period of time. And the plan has to interrelate from where you are to where you hope to be. I didn't know all of that before. And I realized that everything done at the level of companies is strategy, from CEO level, and then it cascades down to those who are the lower level. So those 3 courses really marked my study at FUNIC.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Those are very deep courses. You got them right, especially the strategic management, which is unique to us. We've developed that. We keep developing it into action research at the doctorate, and we'll keep working to refine that, because what we need today is actually people who can see problems, develop solutions, implement those solutions, and get results. That's what we need, and that's what you're just describing. Thank you so much. Mr. Kitio, you're still managing people. There are people here who are looking at you and saying, hey, tomorrow I'm going to send my application to him because I want to work in his company. Who do you need? Who are you looking for? Just tell us right now, who are you looking for? Everyone here can have a master's degree, but who are you looking for? Tell us so that we can prepare our CVs and come to your office tomorrow.
Okay, thank you for the question. It's a bit delicate because in the company there are so many departments, and each department have some specific skill that we are looking for. So what we need, or the kind of people we need on the market now, is those, as when I was talking about multi-talented people recently, I was talking about people that can work in a certain department, but able to relate to another department, because finally in a company, all those departments are really linked. In fact, you have to collaborate when you already have a manager position. Even when you don't have a manager position, you should be able to collaborate with the colleagues of the other department. That's why the multi-talented aspect comes in. You should know if, for example, I'm in the agronomy department as head of development, agronomy, business, new markets, and other things. I must know a bit of logistics, because I have to work with my colleague from the logistics department. There are some products I have to source. If I need to source a product, I have to plan for a customer. I should know that when you buy a customer from China, from China, it will take this length of time. If you want to take from Spain, or from another country, in fact, you should know a bit of logistic. So as when you'll be relating to your colleague, you should not tell him a week before that, I need this product because a client need it now. You have not planned well because you don't know. You lose some customers because you have not planned, because you don't know this aspect. Now, you should relate with the people of the finance. So when you go to a company, to cut it short, in fact, actually we need people, even if you know they need a position as a sales manager in the company, you should prove that you don't know just how to sell. You know what it takes for your product to come from, because most of the things we are selling here are coming from abroad. You should prove to the interviewer, or to me, for instance, if I'm there and I need a new collaborator, because I'm working in developing new partnership, new businesses with new key B2B key key account, I need a new collaborator. I would prefer to take someone who knows a bit of all those things. In fact, who is multi-talented. That's why I love to put it. So I really encourage people to take short courses in all the other domain that can make them be good sales manager. You should not just be there and you are waiting that people will manage and they will put the product in the store and then you just come to take and go. You should know the other aspect, the value of the product, how it takes to come, the time, in fact, all those aspects. So that's what I can say.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are gradually getting to the end. Thanks a lot. Mr. Adrian, what would you say makes a really good master's degree? Very briefly, what makes a very good master's degree?
Yes, a good master's degree simply is that which aligns with the current market demand. yeah, when I say so, I try to relate it with what employers are actually looking for. People that can solve problems in their companies, people that can bring in new ideas, people that can unblock certain things in that company. And so with all of this, you must have soft skills. You must have soft skills. What makes a good master's degree is the soft skills you have after your program. Yeah, you should be able to interconnect with other departments. When you're working in an environment, you should be able to interconnect with other departments, finance, procurement, like just what Mr. Kicho was saying. You should be able to interconnect with other departments. The master's degree should be able to open you up to be able to fit in any part of an enterprise. Yeah, you should be able to understand how an enterprise works, just like an EPS, enterprise resource planning. You should be able to know that a system is interconnected and that at any point in time, you can be moved from one position to the other, and you should be ready to be productive in whatever position you are asked to work in. Bring in something new. You should be creative. Yeah. So
thank you.
that is basically what it takes.
Yes. Thank you so much. So a good master's degree, you've not said a good master's degree is one that has 100 courses. You've not said a good master's degree is one that is taught by all the doctors in the world. You have said that it's a master's degree that responds to the changing needs of the market. It's a master's degree that gives you soft skills like emotional intelligence, which Mr. Lovis mentioned earlier, interpersonal communication skills, and all the problem solving. You've underlined problem solving like all of you this evening. You should be able to learn from your master's degree program how to solve problems. And these are the questions you need to ask. Which courses on this master's program would develop me as a problem solver? These are the questions to ask. Mr. Lovey said, consult the course outline. Ask about other courses that are taught. Ask about projects that are done. This is very important. I'll just end with you. I'll go to all the panelists to just say a word. What can you tell young people who are looking to enroll into a master's program in 30 seconds? Mr. Adrian, what would you tell them? Look at the camera and say it to them.
Come back again, madam, please.
What would you tell master's people, graduates who are looking at enrolling into a master's degree program? What's the last word for them?
Those who are actually looking to further their studies, master's degree, they should look for reference schools with good course outlines. They should look for reference school with good course outlines, and they should usually go to places where they should go to schools that can give them that knowledge, the soft skills they need. I have done just one master's, and I am convinced that in my milieu where I work, what I learned when I was doing my MBA, I was actually taught on how to do presentations, something I had not done, how to start your slides, those very small things that matter, how to start your slides and how to end your slides. Thank you. So you should look at the course outline, what these schools offer and what it embodies. So once you go through that, you look at if it aligns with your goals, then go in for it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was beautiful to have you. Look at what they offer. Look at if the offering aligns with your goals, and then go for it. Thank you for really emphasizing what truly matters. I'll ask the same question to Mr. Lovis. What's the one thing you want to tell anybody who is here, who is looking at enrolling into a master's degree? What would you tell them?
You are on mute, Mr. Lovis.
Your mic.
Sorry, sorry. Very simple. Go for FUNIC Masters programs.
Oh, thank you.
That's great. That's what
Thank you. That came out like that.
Doctor,
Yes,
I wanted them
it
to
has
conclude that.
No,
Thank
no.
you.
Sometimes we have
Thank
to
you.
help them. We have to help them.
Thank you so much. And the beautiful thing about what Mr. Noge is saying, go for it, because he's going to teach you on this program. He's going to share his experience. The same as everyone you've seen here today will be sharing their experience in class. Mr. Nongene has been doing that for many years. You heard Mr. Adrian said that he was taught by Mr. Nongene. You heard Mr. Kitio said that I taught him. So when he says go for it, is because he knows that he's going to be there to share his experience.
Yes.
And he knows that exactly he's going to be able to provide his guidance in class. And that was a very beautiful way of saying it. Thank you very much. Mr. Kitio, the same question.
Yes, I was expecting the question. In fact, I will just say, like Mr. Lovis, that go to FUNIC Business School. They have special program, and you are able to shape it at your convenience with them. And what I'm more grateful is in fact, you can really do it on distance. You can really do it at your rhythm. And what is more interesting on it is that it is you have a local expert that understand our context in Cameroon, about the kind of business we run in Cameroon, and the kind of skills, soft skills, and that we need here. Sometimes we want to go to do some foreign university that sometimes does not understand our context. But I had the opportunity, someone like Dr. Fotabe, she is a game changer in this Cameroon, in this educational system. So she knows and she understands what it takes and what you need. Even if it is for advice, you go to her, you go to FUNIC, and all the staff, they'll advise you and they'll help you to choose. So if you have not yet decided on which specialty to do, you know that you want to do a master, an MBA, but you don't know exactly what to choose. Go to them and they will explain, they will share with you. It will be like a conseil d'orientation. We need it sometime. So I'm sure you will be satisfied there. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And the prices,
Thank
truly
you.
speaking, are affordable.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Romeo Kitio. Thank you, Mr. Foto Adrian. Thank you, Mr. Noge Lovis. It has been such a beautiful time exchanging with you. The blessing I've had is that I have shared a classroom with all of you. But today I sat here and I was taught by you. I have learned quite a lot from you, and I am grateful. So I want to thank you once again for sharing these insights with us. I want to thank you for making time out of, I know, your very busy schedules. You've been here, you've shared with us. Your message is very clear. You align very much with the keynote speaker. It's not about the piece of paper. It's about who you become. It's about what you know and how much you can transmit that, how you can use what you know to solve problems. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being with us. It was an amazing time. I enjoyed it. I hope everyone did. So if people have questions, I'll hand the microphone over to the host to continue with this part. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Dear panelists, it's been an amazing time learning from your experiences. Everything you've shared with us has been really, really enriching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've learned a lot. And of course, we do have questions on the chat box for you. I'm going to start with the first question, which is addressed to Mr. Lovis Noge. It says that I am a certified project management professional, PMP, practically. Over the years, what advantages have you seen a PGMP have over PMP in the fields of project management? This question is coming from Franklin Kerr.
Okay, thank you very much, Nadine, and thank you very much, Mr. Franklin, for the question. Let me start with numbers. There are 1.2 million PMPs worldwide. PMP stands for Project Management Professional. There are 4,000 PGMPs worldwide. I mean, the whole world, planet. PGMP stands for Program Management Professional. And there are 2,000 PFMPs, Portfolio Management Professionals worldwide. Globally, there are just 2,000 people in the whole world that have all three. The numbers alone tell you the value and how significant it is. Now, in every company, you have what you call organizational project management. Imagine an umbrella you have under a rain. The tip of the umbrella, the covering, represents what I call organizational project management. At the tip, close to the covering, you have portfolio. In the middle, you have program. At the bottom, you have projects. So program managers are more important because they are like head of departments who manage PMPs. A program manager can manage over 10, 50 projects under him in his program, because a program can be made up of more than a minimum of 3 projects. So PGMPs are more in terms of strategy, in terms of skills. It's much more advanced than PMP. So consider like a master's level of project management as far as PMI is concerned. If you want details for that, I can give you later, because we are talking about FUNIC here, so I don't want to digress from the topic. But just to let you know that PGMP is like the master's level of project management. PMP is like the first degree level, and then PFMP is like the PhD level. So that's the stratification. And how about
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for that clarification.
Thank you.
Let's move to the next question, which is coming from Lucy Eta. She wants to know what advice you would give students when choosing a master's program and with a global career ambition in mind. What advice would you give students when choosing a master's program with global career ambition in mind? Since this question is not addressed to anyone particularly, I don't know, Mr. Lovis, I think you can give a response to that.
The simple advice I'll tell them: come to FUNIC. Go for FUNIC master's programs. Because like I said, I don't want to go saying the same thing over and over, but FUNIC checks all the boxes in terms of market ready skills, in terms of structured business problem solving skills, which are everlasting. Even with AI, you can't replace those skills. Communication skills, effective and efficient communication, emotional intelligence skills, which helps you to manage people and manage yourself. So, in fact, this program is structured in such a way that it marks all the checks. It marks all the ticks in the boxes.
Great. And still, Lucy Eta is also asking whether there are specific courses and projects or faculty members at FUNIC that significantly influenced your professional growth. I'm going to direct this question to Mr. Adrian. Were there specific courses or projects or faculty members at FUNIC that significantly influenced your professional growth?
Yes, of course, of course. Courses, we had a project. Can you come again, please? Just come again.
Sure. So the person wants to know whether there were specific courses or projects you did while at FUNIC, or some members, faculty members, administrators at FUNIC who significantly influenced your professional growth.
Yes, of course, Dr. Futabe Elmin, that's the first person. Her way of speaking, whenever you listen to her, she draws your attention. Her way of speaking, you always want to talk like her. You always want to captivate people when you are given the opportunity to talk. That is just one person. We have Enongene who just left us, the keynote speaker for tonight. You all saw the way he was speaking, and you've looked at his profile. We worked on a project. We worked on a project called Make It. That project, yes, we worked on a project called Make It. That project actually was to give basic education to students in a remote area where there is no light, where there is no electricity. And we chose an area in Douala called Bonako. We started that project from scratch by registering that project. So during our stay in FUNIC, we learned how to conceive a project, register that project. We learn the various steps of how a project can come to limelight. And so all these skills with the various departments, because that project we had about 5 different departments: accounting department, finance department, project department. So we actually we actually managed this project as in how projects are being managed in a company by registering the project and so on and so forth. So this particular project has impacted me right up to this moment, because some skills I learned from that project, I still implement them up till date. So thank Fotabe University for that.
Amazing. And of course, we would also like to hear from Mr. Romeo. Were there specific courses or projects or faculty members at FUNIC that significantly influenced your professional growth?
Okay, thank you, Nadine, for the question. I would like to talk about the course conflict management, because since I was working with large number of people, to learn how to understand the psychology of those people with whom you're working, understand their psychology, understand where is
Hello, I believe there's a... Is it for my part?
where can a problem identify those maybe my hello.
Yeah, we can get you now. It was breaking. We can get you now.
Okay. I said that I wanted to talk about the course conflict management. That was really interesting in helping me to understand the psychology of those who are working with. When you are dealing with large number of people, it's very necessary to know how to gather them, how to make them work together for the same objective. And I can tell you in plantation management, sometimes you have strikes. It's not easy to manage when all the workers decide in the morning that they will not go to work unless you solve their problem. And sometimes it's a problem that cannot be solved in one morning like that, or sometimes it's a problem that you have to deal with top management or to other people so that the problem can be solved. Then you are a kind of intermediate who have to. In fact, I learned a lot on this course that it really helped me to manage large people and also to manage a project when you reach a difficult point where people does not understand where you are going or the objective that have been set by the top management or the CEO. Then you have to find a way to cope. So that's one of the points I want to talk. Of course, Madam Fotabe at that time, now Dr. Fotabe, she was very kind and knowing how to motivate you to, at a certain moment, you can say that, maybe, but he's a good motivator and we succeeded to go through the program and make the defense. So Thank you very much once more.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Now, participants, I cannot leave this session without actually explaining at least a little bit of my own experience at FUNIC. You do remember that, like I said, when we were starting the program, that most of us from the panelists, the keynote speaker, and myself, the host, we are all FUNIC Business School alumni. And when I had to join FUNIC, particularly, I had studied journalism and mass communication, and I had some certificates from marketing, which I was now looking for a blend of these two, and I could not find anywhere except for FUNIC Business School in partnership with Rome Business School. I searched that everywhere, and I only got the communication and marketing master's program at FUNIC Business School. And so far in Cameroon, and I believe in the world, I wouldn't, want to be precise on that, but yes, when I searched, my research didn't give me anywhere else aside from Rome Business School, which was in partnership with FUNIC Business School. And that was how I found myself at FUNIC Business School. And I learned a lot of lessons, including the ones that our panelists have mentioned on emotional intelligence. One very important thing, which was really, really important for me, was public speaking. I was a very timid person by the time I joined that program. And I'm very sure that Dr. Fotabe must be very surprised to see now that I'm actually speaking on TV and addressing people. I wasn't this person. But I learned all that because the assignments we had and our exams and everything had to be presented to the audience. You had to present it in class. So all these presentations helped me to speak out to people when we were presenting our assignments, our exams, and even our research, which I don't even want to speak about the fact that the research at FUNIC Business School is standard. So yes, I had to just make mention of that briefly. And before we close, we'll invite everybody to turn on their videos so that we can take group pictures, because we see that most of our participants are leaving, but we need some pictures. So please kindly turn on your videos so we can see you and we can have pictures. Hello, participants. Kindly turn on your videos so that we can take good pictures. Okay.
Hello.
Turn on your cameras, please. Thank you.
I can see some people. I can see Mr. Fonkwa. I can see Brian. I can see Esther. I can see Francis. Thank you. Thank you. I can see Paul.
Please just stay put so that I take a little more. A few more persons have added their photos. Please, if you haven't done so, even if you're eating, just keep your food aside for like 30 seconds and then we'll take a snapshot. Don't worry, your food's not going to get cold.
Okay, I'm sure we have them. Nadine, over to you.
Great. So, Doctor, before we come to the end of this session, we would like to hear from you briefly. What are some of the innovations that FUNIC Business School is offering its students this year?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that question, which I wasn't expecting. One of the things is that every year we try to innovate because we're looking at the changing times. We're trying to look at other courses. One of the key things we've done this year is to introduce a lot of African models, business models. I'm sure if you remember, we were teaching you about the Boston Consulting Group model. We were teaching you about all the other models. But this time around, especially because we've also partnered with the University of Boya, we are looking at also giving students these African perspectives because, like Mr. Inogene was saying, we have to think local, we act global. We cannot go out there to start solving problems in Africa when we do not understand the African business context. Most of the models that we studied so far are not our models. They are models that were crafted to solve problems that are not our problems. So we are starting to integrate. We are not removing those models completely. We are integrating African-centered models now to give our students this broad perspective. And of course, I already mentioned the other one. There's the MBA now with the University of Boya for people who are looking at, really having a local MBA. It's only local in terms of the certification, not the content, because the content is still our content that was developed, still with the applied business research, still with the emotional intelligence, these African models. And one very important course is the career readiness course for young people who do not have experience, because entry qualification, you need 2 years of experience. But for young people who do not have working experience, we have a career readiness program that puts them in company settings for the entire 2 years so that they acquire the experience as they go through their program. And so these are some of the innovations that we have introduced this year. I want to thank you, Nadine, for hosting this session and the session tomorrow, because like you announced, you didn't like to do this. You didn't like to do this. And I remember when you came to me to say that you are supposed to anchor a program on Dash Media, I was looking at you and saying, are you going to do that? But today you're one of the stars on Dash Media, not just the Managing Africa program, but also the news. And I'm very, very proud of you for what you've achieved. And I'm happy that you accepted to host this session. Nobody would have done it better than you've done. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Madam. Thank you. Well, dear participants, we've come to the end.
Nadine.
Come again.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Nadine has done a great job.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank
you so much. So in conclusion, as we wrap up today's powerful session, I would like to thank all our incredible panelists, speakers, our moderator, Dr. Fotabe Elmin, and of course, you, our participants, for making this conversation engaging and really, really impactful. We're grateful. Now we've explored what makes a master's degree truly valuable and how we can shape meaningful global careers. And these stories shared today from our very own FUNIC alumni are living proof that they are living proof of that particular potential. Now, you should all know that we are only beginning, because I'm warmly inviting you all to join us again tomorrow for day 2 of the webinar. The theme is going to be Global Development Careers and what a master's degree should teach you. This promises to be not just engaging, but it is going to have new insights into how education can prepare you for purpose-driven and global impact careers. In the meantime, if today has sparked your curiosity, we encourage you to discover more about FUNIC Business School, a place where academic excellence meets real-world Relevance. You should visit the website and learn more about it. Please kindly connect to Madam, I keep forgetting to say Dr. Connect with Dr. Fotabe Elmin, connect with myself, connect with Madam Lucy, Mr. Tako, and of course, all our speakers today. You already have the LinkedIn of our keynote speaker. Please network with people, ask questions, and, enjoy your journey. Thank you once again for being part of today's session. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same time, same place. But until then, you should all stay curious, stay inspired, and stay connected and ambitious. We hope to see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Have a wonderful and lovely evening.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you much.
Oui. C'est moi qui ai commencé d'abord. C'est toi parler.